What are you guys looking for, though?
Hey, we don't
Anything
know.
you can make a buck off of.
Look at all the wagons out there. This is our pick.
It would need $3,000.
Well, that's a lot.
The box is great, the radio's crap.
Since you're a low baller,
That's Mr. Lowballer to you.
Scott, I found the ultimate cigar box for you.
I'm Scott Cozens,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and barns. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us.
How do you make $2,000 in the antique business? Start with 5.
Yeah, I was Yikes.
Wow.
Sheldon and I are very different people. He came up through the auction ranks, where I came up through the collecting ranks.
And that's killer, isn't it?
I'm looking for things that have stood the test of time.
Oh, I love it.
I'm not looking for anything that came with a little cardboard box around it.
That's where all the money is. Come on. Oh, I want that.
Look at the smile on his face.
I don't really care what anyone thinks about whether I'm buying junk or not. Just sell me your junk bin. We spend a ton of time together. The only thing is that Sheldon is a terrible, terrible driver.
Yeehaw!
I want to stop for coffee before we do that pick. I got to have my wits about me.
Hey, let me grab the mount. Let's plan the day.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. I wonder if the train's running.
This place hasn't changed at all, has it?
There you go, guys.
Thanks.
We'll head down the Cowboy Trail.
That's a nice drive, actually. We're heading over towards sort of the mining territory, right?
Exactly.
Bellevue.
Yeah, this is virgin territory. Yeah. And then as we go a little bit farther east here, we get into more cowboy country, Western memorabilia.
Nice, too.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
And behave
Thank you.
yourself.
Thank you.
I always do.
It's a beautiful morning in southern Alberta. The skies have opened, the sun is shining, and we've got a pick to be had. But I've got some good news for you.
What's that?
An old family friend, Manny, gave me a call. His parents have now passed away. They're selling the house. He's got some things he wants to sell, including a totem pole.
Wow.
Yeah, big one.
How big?
Too big to put in the house.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Because for every big totem pole, you'll see 500 little totem poles. To have a chance at a big one, that makes me excited.
Not that size matters.
It's not the size, it's how it gets used.
This is us right here. All right.
Oh, there's a totem pole. It's a big one.
Yeah, I'm impressed already.
As soon as I walked up the driveway, I saw the totem pole. And that's big, it's loud, and it's old. You look at it and you say, wow.
How you doing? Good.
That seemed to have caught someone's eye.
Well, it's an interesting thing. Where'd it come from?
It came from around the Banff corridor, Alberta. So my dad was into the native stuff, and
Did he have it made for him, or did you just find it somewhere?
No, he bought it.
When I looked at the totem pole, as soon as I came up the driveway, I said, that's a white man totem pole. It looks not so much carved by a native. You normally don't see Indians in headdresses on Indian totem poles. They had animals. They had the spirit world more so than individuals. It was the weirdest totem pole I have ever seen, and it's a little bit naughty.
It's interesting how the artist has used the knots.
Yeah, I find that quite interesting how they use the knots. Yeah.
This was out at their country home, and then when that country home was sold, it brought it here and put it into concrete.
Canadians love totem poles. Native people like them, non-native people like them, collectors like them, decorators like them. I love totem poles.
What's it gonna take for us to walk home with a totem pole here today?
Well, I was thinking in somewhere 750, 800, somewhere in the 750 range. Is that pretty strong?
Well,
That's pretty strong,
pretty
Scott?
steep.
I know Scott really wants that totem pole.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's one of those things where if it's a native one, that might not be a bad deal, but I just got my doubts.
Sorry.
I can see 350, 400, something
Yeah, I was
like
going
that.
to say 400 too. Would you consider that?
I really want it, but I want to get it for a good price.
Well, like the way I'm looking at it is if I don't sell it, then it's going to have to go with the house, and I'd rather sell it.
I got a guy in mind for it, and I think he's really going to want that totem pole.
So 4 1/4, and you guys could haul it away right now.
We're not leaving without that if I have anything to say about it.
Yeah, 4 1/4.
4 1/4.
Okay.
All right, I want the top
It's
half
gonna
if
come
it
out
breaks in
easy.
half.
Let's wriggle it a little more. There we go.
Keep going.
There we go.
Keep going.
Oh man.
I think we got her. She's out.
She's out. I think I ripped my shirt.
No,
Yeah.
she's coming in.
There we go.
Well, that's the gamble of the day. I didn't buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
I bought a totem pole.
Hey, thanks again.
Take care.
Close the
All
door
right.
on this pick.
All right, on to the next one.
I'm driving. Now we've got one of the toughest challenges you'll ever have as a picker, and that's trying to pick from a collector, because they love their stuff. Doran's notorious around these parts for having a ton of stuff, a ton of carriages, Western gear, saddles. I hear he's even got a stagecoach.
Doran could be our kind of guy. I don't know about you, but I'm pumped. Oh yeah, look at all the wagons out there. This is our pick.
I was a little concerned when I rolled up and saw all the stuff. That does not speak to me as somebody that's a seller. Okay, here we are. The biggest challenge with dealing with people that are collectors is they almost always buy at a higher price. They don't like to sell, and when they do, they want top dollar for everything they sell.
I'm Sheldon.
Doran, this is my wife, Tara.
Hi, Tara. How are you doing?
So do people see you from the highway?
Oh, yes, we get a few coming in saying, "And just wondered if you had a wagon wheel for sale."
Yeah. And what do you say?
No. She always says that my funeral's gonna be at 11 and the auction will be at 2. I might as well take you where it all began. My mom was kind of a collector, you know. She never threw anything away. Maybe it gets in your blood that way, I'm not sure.
It's certainly gotten in your blood.
There's 385 tons of wagon stuff in here. All my parts are numbered. I know where everything is.
Is that right? So do people bring these to you, or do you
I get
go
people
hunt for them?
bringing them to me. I was kind of a bad boy for a while. There wasn't an auction sale that I wasn't scanning and looking for wagon parts. And now I look at it and say, why did I do all of this?
Let's see some of the other collections. Whoa! When he opened the doors to those carriages, wow, that looks like an old stagecoach.
Yeehaw.
I immediately fixated on the old West-style carriage. That I love. Wow, this is great.
You always want to be the driver, right, Scott? I got to ask you about the hearse.
So we've used this for quite a few funerals. And we used it for my father. And this is the nicest riding vehicle we have, which makes no sense. Like, folks are...
It's the final ride. It might as well be a
but
good one.
I mean, it's not quite for sale yet, but...
Well, I'm not ready to go in it either.
We're here to pick. We want to find some stuff we can buy and sell.
Come on in.
I've always loved anything that has anything to do with advertising. Looking for stuff with really interesting graphics and optics on it. What about the axle grease tin?
Well,
They've got that nice carriage wheel. They've got little Art Nouveau borders around them. Well, give me a sense as to what you'd like.
well, let's walk.
Okay.
This one you wouldn't part with.
No.
Nice gauntlets.
Yeah.
Would you part with them?
And this looks like an axe. You know what? It's got a good look to it.
Well,
What would you want to get out of that one? That's interesting.
that's deer hooves.
Yeah. Give us a price.
What is it?
It's a hide scraper, and it's not for sale.
Okay.
Sorry.
Doran's a great guy, but he's just not ready to sell. Now, what would you want for that?
Well, you know, That's a Royal Crown.
How about a bottle of Crown Royal?
Well, that'd start for lubricating me to make a deal.
I had this in mint condition.
Yeah, and it's $400.
Yeah.
As it is, it's $5.
Um,
If Doran wants to sell it,
no. For $5, I'll leave it hanging on the wall.
I figured you'd say that.
Now, there's probably a lot of people that said, why didn't he sell that?
What would you want for the ladies and men's signs?
Oh.
You can't be thinking that hard about it. I mean, they are just signs.
The
for
first
washing.
thing I have to think about is parting with it. The second thing I think about is how
You're
much.
having a little bit of
Well,
parting
You guys have to
difficulties.
understand that I rarely sell stuff. When you collect that item, you're not thinking about selling it. You're thinking about keeping it. And I'm not sure when that time kicks in where it's now time to start parting with all this stuff.
Let's get her going. Let's
Yeah.
initiate it. And, you don't have a problem with that, do you?
Not a problem at all. I know where the bathroom is.
But my wife suggests it needs to be soon.
$5 each is what I'd offer on them.
Deal.
All right.
Well, we got to start the day somewhere.
Okay.
There we go.
That's the hardest part, is getting the start.
Yeah.
More than anything else, I bought those signs just to get them going.
What about the transit case there?
That's kind of neat.
Is the transit in it?
No. Is fitted to hold a transit. So those guys you see doing the leveling at the side of the road, that's the specialty box that would hold a scientific instrument inside. We'll leave you the contents.
Okay.
It's a package deal.
Well, Tara was a real benefit to us because Tara is the one that in the background is giving him the eye signals that says, move it along. Because otherwise, I don't think he'd move anything.
Hit us with your best shot, Doran.
Oh, the bottom's a little rough on it.
Yep, well, I've handled transit boxes before. Stripped down, they look pretty good, nice oil job. Not gonna get rich on that.
$5.
Done. Let's keep the ball rolling.
Or interested in selling ones?
Sure.
$5. You got a deal?
$5, we have a deal.
Perfect. What's the story, Doran, on the little Indian head? What would you want for that?
You tell me what
What, you want me to be buyer and seller?
Cast aluminum.
Obviously, it's screwed onto the side of something, but what is the question?
Yeah, good question.
That's what I've always been trying to figure out.
But it is a neat thing. It'll look good on a wall.
What would you want for something like that?
Oh, probably $60.
Oh! I was going to say 20.
Okay, well, you can come back to my funeral auction.
From my perspective, he just wanted too much for that Indian head.
Would you say 30?
No.
He's hard.
Yeah.
But the problem for me was I liked it. So where are we going?
We got a little room to move.
Well, what if I move down to 50?
Scott spotted that branding iron.
I didn't see this the first time.
Hey,
It's got an S in it.
and that's our logo. We'll just strike it twice. Bingo!
What are you looking for on this?
Well, that's pretty special initial.
It wasn't till a couple minutes ago. How about, tell you what, 55 for the pair.
Done deal.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Just when we thought we saw it all,
This is my tack shed here. I've accumulated some leather goods.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow, have you ever? First thing you see when you walk in that tack shed is all that stuff.
This is just kind of everything and anything. I've got an old-timer Great West. This is one that is really comfortable. A guy can do a lot of miles on that.
That saddle was unbelievable. You don't see Northwest Territories saddles very often for Alberta. Great maker, Great West Saddlery.
Just don't find the old high backs.
It had been reconditioned a little bit.
With the original tools, though, which is great.
Yeah,
The original stamp.
fantastic.
Is that something that you'd be interested in moving?
I would part with it, but it would take some,
Crown Royal?
a lot. Probably shares in the company.
So what are you talking?
Well, a saddle like that, if I was to say goodbye to that today, it would need $3,000.
Well, that's a lot. I'll give you that much.
Yeah?
Well, the problem for us is, Doran, that's a good price on it if you're a collector, but for us to make some money on it.
You know it's here.
Now, I noticed over there you've got a bridle. Now that I know him a little bit, I'm looking for things that aren't up front, things that are sort of in a box or hidden behind, because then that tells me he's maybe not that attached to it. There's 3 of them with the pimpy ones.
The pimpy ones.
Let's see if we can do a ballpark price.
You want to do a package deal?
Package deal.
Oh, this has got a dog.
Man, Doran, you got too much tact.
Oh, this has got a deer.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, 125?
$100, you got a deal.
Well, okay, we'll do that. You visited the tack room, there you go.
Hey, Doran, what about that boot jack? I'm gonna use it.
Make me an offer.
How's $30?
Sold.
Done. Well, I'll be taking my boots off with that boot jack, and I'll think of Scott and Doran and Tara every time I do.
We'll see if we can find you some other goodies.
Would that be up for grabs?
That's my Dempster horse. You know what those are? The weights off of the old Dempster windmills.
Oh,
And they made horses, they made a rooster.
So where would they date from?
Oh, 1920s or earlier. So there's not a lot of those around. They did become windmill targets. You can see the bullet hole in through the, look at the bullet holes. See, they'd put rocks in those for weight, eh? And if they hit the horse with a high-powered rifle, it would just shatter it.
So what would you want for that?
Those are pretty collectible. It's Canadiana history, well, actually prairie history. I'd have to have 4.5.
That's a tempting thing. It's a great looking thing.
That is a good one, isn't it?
That seems a bit steep. See, I could do 300 on it.
Why don't we go to... That's an original cast iron Dempster, bullet holes.
Do
3.5.
3.5?
3.5 done.
Okay, that's another deal.
We did get some stuff, and if it hadn't been for that horse, I would have been a little disappointed, but that sort of helped me make this pick worthwhile.
Here.
There we go.
It's been entertaining.
You know, it's a tough call what we're going to get for it. I think, though, that it's a quality item. Perfect. And I'll get another one from here just so we can get the size of it.
I think we'll find a buyer for that. We'll have to do some phone calls, maybe see if we can get it appraised.
Perfect.
That'll do her. Let's load her up. What about a hood ornament? Pop it on the top of the box here.
Hey, Sheldon. Should have checked that a little closer. There's not much left at the bottom of that box.
Oh, yeah. What do you expect for $5, Scott? I think I almost paid $5 for coffee this morning, so I can't go too far wrong. So this has been real fun.
The time with Sheldon and Scott, they wanted to wander through buildings and rummage through boxes. It's like quality time.
Away we go.
That's one of the best private collections I've encountered for a long time, and that was worth seeing and making the stop and the trip just to see that.
See you later.
We've got another pick to go to, so we've got some room in the truck. It's getting a little confusing here.
You're the navigator. Doran suggested we stop in and see Elaine. He's got really cool 50s things and some radios. It's always my hope to find a beautiful radio in somebody's possession. We've only got a bit of time to deal with Elaine because he's shutting down, the light's going, so this is gonna be a speed pick.
Whoa, whoa, Scott. Scott, easy, buddy.
Just navigate, don't talk. The only thing I'm worried about is that horse, because if it tipped over and hit hard, we might lose our biggest investment there. The only problem with what Doran told us about Elaine is Elaine's a picker.
I have this church here, and I figure, well, I can use it for my storage for now, for my picking. And you never have enough room. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's tough to pick from a collector. It's really tough to pick from a picker.
I'm thinking it's that church right, what used to be a church.
Oh, here. Well, let's see what we can get.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So the place is a bit of a mess.
Hey, we like it messy.
Wow, there's some old stuff in here.
I've been a picker all my life. What I collect the most is antique building material from Alberta.
Wow.
I love taking apart old farmhouse for the lumber, for the molding, the baseboard, the doors, fireplace, mantles.
Scott knows what he's looking for. He's a pro. He knows his radios, and if there's a good one to be had, he'll find it. Oh, man, I'd like to buy something.
Well, that's why I'm looking quickly here. We don't have much time.
What are you guys looking for, though?
Oh, you know,
Hey, we don't
anything
know.
you can make a buck off of.
There is a technique that when we go in to buy, we don't necessarily zero in and tip our hand that a certain item is the primo item of the whole sale.
Strategically, I didn't express too much interest in those radios, but I didn't want one of the better things to be the first deal.
There are cowboy boot lamps.
Look at that Calgary Stampede wallpaper.
Never seen that before.
I'm guessing this paper is 50s, 40s?
Yeah, 40s it looks like to me. Huh, fantastic.
That's a pity.
There's more stuff over here, eh?
Well, let's look. Holy smokes, there's some light fixtures in here. Let me just peek around the corner here.
That's a great lamp base. Elaine, what would you need for that?
20.
20 bucks?
Yeah.
Sold.
Your partner bought something.
Yeah.
He did?
I broke the ice.
Is the van empty?
That would be telling.
You'd love to fill our van up, wouldn't you? Elaine is just like us. He likes history. He'll buy and sell anything and turn it over at a profit.
If he's got a good thing, he wants a good dollar for it. What are you looking to get out of the box of tins?
Why don't you make me an offer for the whole box?
I would go 20 on the 3.
Come on, that's too low. Look at this peanut one.
You see, it's the boring one, though, right?
You guys are lowballing me.
What do you expect? We're trying to make some money on it. He's starting high, and I'm lowballing him every time. And then he gives me this look like he's just offended by my offer. It's the dance you have to do sometimes. So I'm going to look around and see what else you got. Let's see. That's an old store tin, but unfortunately, it's really rough. This would be from the 1920s or so, probably, this tin. So what would you want for that tin in that condition?
Okay, since you're a low baller,
That's Mr. Lowballer to you.
Mr. Lowballer,
Yeah?
yeah, I probably paid 25 for it.
You did not.
Well, you know, you can't expect to find them always mint, you know?
He does the dance just for fun. Okay, now, are these radios?
No, those are my income tax.
Oh, you said you had
Scott was
box?
like looking for stuff they can flip quickly, which is okay with me. I do the same.
You know Scott's interested in radios.
Radios,
Yeah.
I got about 200 radios.
200? Where are they?
I got boxes and boxes of them.
You have boxes and boxes of them.
Like this towel,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
have more in here. For a while, I was buying any radios. If it was $10, I would buy it. As long as it's got color, plastic, and it looks good on the shelf.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, here's a Marconi. It's colorful, and it's Canadian.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that. That's called Beetle. I was pumped when I saw them, and then every box I opened, there was more radios and better radios. The best thing I've ever bought is at a garage sale, and there was a radio. I paid 40 bucks for it. It's probably worth 1,400 bucks. You got some neat radios, though, here. So what? You never did give me the price per radio.
Well, it's kind of, they're all different, right?
Why?
But
Why are they different?
that's hot. That's a hot radio. Look at the color on there.
It's black.
Motorola.
Black isn't a color. He's trying to build these things up like they're Fabergé Easter eggs. And I'm trying to beat them down like they're something that was dug out of the ground.
They call that Beetle
Beetle.
plastic.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cracks in it.
Come on.
We both know what they are, and we both know what they're worth, and we're gonna get there. How much do you want for these little stand-ups?
These one be 50.
15?
50.
50?
50.
50? When you're dealing with a guy like Elaine who loves the game as much as he loves the stuff, it's all about sort of just positioning yourself.
Look at that.
I can't sell those for 50 bucks. How much for the little guy?
That's the colors that people want. That's 40 bucks. I know, but
But you're charging me retail.
He's a member of the Pickers Union. you got to give a fellow member a break.
See, you got a lot of radios here that I like,
that's another one.
but the problem is I got to be able to make money on
I
it.
know.
Is this the Old Man River?
You're the first person I meet that likes this kind of stuff.
I love this picture. How's 10?
Because I like you, I'll give it to you for 10. Because, you know, you
Does that mean
really...
you don't like me?
Thank you very much.
Ho, 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 ho. Look at this baby here.
Unfortunately, this part of it's toast, right?
It's too bad I have a Catalan one here.
Do you? Let's find it. I'll wait. With rare exception, a Catalan radio is the top of the heap with respect to radios. They start at a couple $100 and they go up to $25,000, $35,000. Let's find that Catalan, because I don't mind paying a good dollar for a good radio.
The Catalan that I have is just a small, it's called a Totem.
I want it. There's Tom Thumbs and there's Tom Thumb. The way he's describing it, that's a really expensive radio.
You're very persistent.
But it's, oh yeah, it's a different Tom Thumb. So what would you want for that one? Because it's not the one I was thinking of.
$50.
I'm not going to offer that. So Elaine, what I'd like to do if I could is I'd like to grab a bunch of radios,
Okay.
put them aside, show you which ones I want, and make you an offer on them.
It's two guys that really know what they're doing, battling it out.
This one he is gonna have to pay. I paid 70 for that one.
I stepped aside and let them do their thing, but I love watching Scott in action.
Play ball! And it's a nice hit into left field.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Something's missing.
Ooh, this is a hot one.
Look at the ding there. Beautiful radio, but broken.
He's rounding first and going on.
One time was selling at 10 grand on eBay.
Yeah, but that was the TR-55.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
What about that Sony there?
No, it's got a big chunk out of the bottom of it.
Could clean up well.
Like, who, what are you, dreaming?
He's clean past second base. Unbelievable.
Some of these are $10 radios, as you know. Like that one, I mean, come on. It's white, it's chipped. These ones are not exactly the most attractive radio you've ever seen. You gotta admit that.
The one I'm most keen about is that pile here.
Well,
that's a good radio. It's in
the
bad
box
shape.
is great,
Yeah.
the radio's crap.
He's rounding third. It looks like he's going to go for it.
Okay, 32 radios, what are we talking?
Well, that's gonna be hard.
It's too much.
I haven't said a number.
And here he comes.
Let's talk a ballpark number. I'm trying to make money on this,
Yeah.
right? And you're gonna be mad at me when I say this, but I'm gonna say 400 bucks.
400 bucks.
Yeah, I told you you were gonna be mad at me. It's gonna take you 6 months to make more than 400 bucks on these things.
Holy cow, I think he's going to make it.
I tell you, I'll go 500. Or I'll keep these ones and I'll sell it even cheaper.
You picked the best one.
He's sliding, and he's...
So, 450, final offer.
Sold.
Okay.
It's a home run. Unbelievable.
Ultimately, we hammered him down at 450, which we thought was a really good price, particularly where he started from. Last load.
Sun's going down.
Sun's going down. I'll take that. We had a great time. We shook hands, smiled. It was
Nice
fun
doing business.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
That was some speed picking.
Faster than I like, got to do what you do, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't find too many nicks. Hopefully it won't look like the bottom of your box that you bought today.
You want to just keep reminding me of that one, don't you?
I know you will when it happens to me. I'm dying to know what those radios are worth. Why don't we give Lauren a call? I've known Lauren for 20 plus years, and Lauren knows pretty much everything there is to know about 50s stuff, retro stuff, and he specializes in radios. I took a couple of pictures. I was pretty sure that we got a good buy on those radios, but I wanted to call Lauren just to make sure. Can you hear me, Lauren?
Yes, sir.
Did you get those pictures of those radios I sent you?
I did. Pretty interesting little collection.
Well, I'm hoping when the dust settles on the radios that we're gonna double out on those for sure. There's a bunch of stuff there. Can you give me an idea?
That little green Marconi?
Yeah?
It's actually green bake light, probably about $2.50.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, wow.
What about the little Tom Thumb? How's that?
That's not a bad little radio and full, gotta be worth about $100.
Beautiful. I'm pretty happy with that. Can you give me an idea, sort of what you think that we might be able to get for those radios?
I was kind of looking at maybe about $850, $900 retail for the whole thing.
Well, that's pretty good news.
Hey, thanks a lot, Lauren. Hey, fantastic.
That sure takes the sting out of the $100 gas bill we just encountered. We're heading to Bellevue. This area of southern Alberta around the Crow's Nest Pass is famous for its ghost towns. So we're going to see some interesting things, I think, today. We've got a pick to be had. We've been contacted by a lady by the name of Bernie. She's got a local history museum, all sorts of mining things from some of the ghost towns around the area. She's moving to the city and wants to sell the whole museum.
Do you know if she sold anything off before we got here?
Apparently not. I think the museum's pretty much intact the way it's been for 35, 40 years.
Wow. This is Bernie's.
It's got a real local flavor to it, and we're gonna go in there and see what interests us and see if we can strike up a deal with Bernie.
Hi.
Hey, good morning.
How are
Good
you?
morning.
Scott, how
Hi,
are you?
Scott. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Bernie.
Hi, Sheldon. Ready to see some antiques?
We sure are.
We've got quite the collection. My family came here from Italy in 1901. There was 9 children in the family, 3 uncles, grandfathers, and grandmothers, but 95% of the family mined, so we just had a lot of that stuff handed down. Okay, so this used to be our old chicken coop. You watch your step here. The floor
That's a
caved
big
in.
drop, isn't
That
it?
is a big drop. And we'll start in this room probably.
Okay.
Wow. You walk into that first room in the museum, and it hits you. Hard to know where to start. It's just wall-to-wall bottles. Beer bottles, pop bottles, stoneware bottles, you name it.
We had miners and seamstresses and carpenters in the family, so everybody brought a little bit of everything.
Right.
So is everything up for grabs, Bernie, or will you?
Eventually, the collection will probably all go because I can't move it to where I'm going to relocate. I'd like to sell it to someone that'll appreciate it as much as I do.
Yeah, pull some things out that interest us, and away we go. For somebody that wants to move as much merchandise as possible, the best way to approach this kind of a pick is to group the merchandise together and try and work on one lump sum. Hopefully the lump is enough to close the deal. The seltzer bottle, it's the Lethbridge Brewery. Yeah. Hey, Scott, this looks like my last year of high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Right down to
Right
that
down
guy.
to Uncle Ben's, yeah. Do you have any idea where any of this stuff came from?
Most of the bottles were dug up from underground, either in Lille and Passburg.
Yeah, Lil don't exist no more.
It doesn't exist. It was an old mining town.
The mine closed down. The mining company sold off the homes. In fact, Bernie's home is a former house that was moved off-site.
A lot of the stuff was left underground, and my father and my uncle dug it up. They
Right.
were treasure hunters. They used to go out on weekends and stuff with their little backpacks and their shovels and their picks.
There are several ghost towns in this area, former mine sites, and as a collection of ghost towns, it's very unique, and I'm sensing that we're going to find a little bit from each one.
It looks like a canteen to me.
Canteens for the miners.
That's a good old one. Canteens are kind of interesting because they're usually not a mass-produced item. They're hand-tinkered. They're pretty unique. They sure show their age.
This was dug up, I think, because I
Yeah,
think
it's
the top's
fused-
actually fused.
Fused right on there.
Yeah. There are people that will decorate their house.
Yes.
And they'll just put old beat-up stuff
Yeah.
like that. Are those cannon?
Those are bocce balls.
Oh, bocce balls. Like an old bocce
Yeah.
ball.
From the old country.
Yeah.
Wow. Did I go with my cowboy hat?
I think you need those on the road, Scott.
This is a good mining helmet.
Do you know whose hat this was?
That was probably a great uncle's.
Yeah.
Let's see if that works for you. If we put a little light on it for the next pick.
Well, we can always fall back on mining, because this picking thing sometimes is more difficult than you think.
This is my other room.
I love the photos.
Lots of photos. There's a photograph of Frank's slide before it fell there.
Oh, here's Turtle Mountain before the slide. part with that?
No, I'm hanging on to that.
Okay, can't say I blame you, Bernie.
You don't see too many photos of that mountain when it's in one piece. She had a couple photos we would have liked to have, but she wasn't giving them up.
Yeah.
Is it a sentimental thing, or is it a question of you'd have to get the right price for it?
No, it's really, really rare. Like, I haven't seen it anywhere around the Crow's Nest Pass, a picture of the Frank slide before it fell.
What about the picture of your grandfather? Is that a keeper for
Yeah.
you?
And
When
you
you see something good, you gotta ask,
Yeah.
right?
What about this mine here?
That was the Mohawk tipple.
The Mohawk Temple.
Yeah, that's the one my uncle worked at, my grandfather worked at.
Would you part with that one?
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Okay, good.
It looks like these are dog tags.
Yeah, they're dog tags from the miners. So miners.
Oh, they're
all were
miners'
given
tags.
Tags, so when they went in, if they found the bodies and that, they know who was in there.
Right. Sadly, this area has a history of mining disasters.
Yeah, they used in the mine, they stick it in walls of the
Yeah.
mine.
Oh, right. Can I add that to the...
Yeah, you can have that.
All right. I love all the pieces of local history.
Bernie, what about these old ginger beer bottles? Are they
Yeah, they're up for
available?
grabs.
This one, you can tell this one's being dug up, right?
Yeah.
Well, ginger beer bottles are around early part of the 20th century, and essentially that's what people drank. The interesting part is that because this is a railway town, you're gonna find them dug up because people used to ride on the railway, they'd drink their ginger beer bottle at about a half mile out of town, they'd pitch it out the railway car. So you usually find them all in the same place.
I think we might have to do something unusual, and that's maybe sell things as a grouping. Sell the story.
So now this is interesting because the color's great.
That's a beauty.
The longer a bottle stays in the sun, if it's got some manganese or some metal in it, it will turn color. There's one. Boring, horrible sealer, but it's
the
turning purple.
color
so it's
is
nice.
beautiful. It's a gem.
Because they were turning color, somebody will want those because you can sit them up in a window, the light comes through them, and they look beautiful. Do you know what they're doing now with these things? They're taking regular glass, running it through an MRI, and it turns it purple.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Crazy.
But this one would be flint in the glass.
Oh, there's no question
Yeah,
that.
Mother Nature did this one.
Oh, there's the beaver sealer. That's not a bad one. As we all know, the beaver sealers, they used them to pickle products, right?
Those beaver sealers are sort of an iconic Canadian sealer.
They're all over the place, and there's millions of them, and most of them are worth very little, but some of them are worth more, and the beaver ones are worth more because I got the image of the beaver on it.
Right.
I just wish she had the one that went the other way.
Yeah, that makes a big difference to some collectors, which way the beaver's facing, and sure enough, the beavers that we found, they're facing the wrong direction. It's always the other way, right?
It's always the other way.
Yeah.
No matter which one I find, it's always the wrong one. Now let's check out that other shed over there.
Wow. Hey, watch yourself, Scotty. Bernie, there's two of these. Would you part with them?
Sure. Their eyes light up when they found a treasure. It was like a little kid in a toy store.
Scott, look at this. I used to play with this exact same. Hey, this is my glove. I got a little connection to the Lethbridge Brewing and Malting Company.
I'm sure that's because you drank so much when you were a kid. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? Well, if you do, you better let him out.
You love a good graphic, don't you?
I do. Whew. Something smells.
Yeah. Well, that's picking, Scott. You use all your senses, right? What's the life expectancy of a picker?
It depends if you're picking with me or not.
Hey, Scott, I found the ultimate cigar box for you.
I wasn't sure if you were talking about personality or
Yes, exactly.
handmade from long fillers.
I think that's a keeper. Bernie, I noticed a couple of buffalo skulls.
Hopefully there's no black widows inside these things. And those were two nice buffalo skulls, and Bertie told us they'd been dug up in the Crow's Nest River, not far from here.
This part of Alberta, the buffalo migrations used to go right through here. And so it's not unusual to find bones and skulls, but these two were both intact. They showed their age, they were weathered. I think my bison's older than yours, Scott. They used to be plentiful, and now they're scarce, and there's a little bit of market value to them. So, Bernie, I think Scott and I should probably compare notes and come up with some sort of offer for you.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, Bernie.
Leave and leave you guys talk.
I'm a little concerned about this pick because there's a lot of stuff in here that I wouldn't normally take. She's a nice lady, and I don't really want to take a beating on this stuff. I would have normally picked 5 or 6 items out and left the rest. but we were trying to put a package deal together because we knew Bernie wanted to move a lot of stuff, and we would get a better deal if we took more stuff. Well, I think what we should do is this. I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna give my scan of it, I'm gonna sort of price it up in my head.
Hey, I'll
You
do
the same.
I'll do the same.
Then we'll take a couple minutes, talk about it, see how close we are, and if our numbers are close, we'll go in and try and do the deal, okay?
Yeah.
My way of doing it's a little different than Sheldon's, is I look and I pick the 5 or 6 or 10 best things that I see that I can sell at retail, and if that gets me my money back, the rest is the profit.
I'm thinking about what I would allow for each piece. I'm not going to get hurt on each piece, and add it up in my mind. And then I usually round it off to the upside, and then we start negotiating from there.
Quick sell.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a lot of money off them, but they're a quick sell.
Nothing is really valuable, but priced right, should be able to turn it over quickly.
So now that we've scoped it out, what's your price?
No, you go first.
I don't want to go first because I'm always lower than you.
No, you go first. Go on.
Okay, well, 325 is my number.
Oh, I was going to say 350. Huh.
It was generous enough that we weren't insulting Bernie. There's some real treasures in here, and then there's, you know, a few bits and pieces that probably don't have a lot of value,
No.
but they're interesting.
Interest.
Yeah, we came up with a number that worked for both of us, and the number was $325 for this bundle here. How does that sound for you?
That sounds good. How about 350?
Oh. See, that was the mistake we made. We didn't start low.
Yeah. No, I think actually that sounds very fair. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
great.
It's a deal.
Okay,
Got
thanks,
ourselves
Bernie.
a deal.
Thanks.
And there's probably another $300 or $400 in there, but it's going to take us a long time to make that.
You got to double your money just to pay for the gas bill and make it make sense.
Bernie?
It's been a
It's
pleasure.
been a pleasure. It was great.
You take care.
You too.
I love being here. I love meeting Bernie. Just a lovely person. And you know what? We got some things that we can make some money on.
It was a really good day. I'm glad they came. It was nice to see someone appreciate the stuff as much as me.
It's been a great day because it's been a long time since I've been in southern Alberta.
That was really good. Just the history of it, you know, the museum and the chicken coop, all those little ghost towns and bottles. If we could hit a pick like that right across Canada, that'd be a lot of fun.
We may be historians by the end of it. Before we get some gas, I'm going to give Jerry a call to see if he can tell us anything about that Dempster windmill weight. 3.5?
3.5 done.
Jerry Frost is a guy that I've known for years. He's probably the most experienced dealer in Alberta on country store collectibles, and I knew he'd be able to find out exactly what it was worth so that we can find out whether we made any money on it or not. What do you think?
I think it's wonderful. I haven't seen one that's complete like that. I've only ever seen the horse. I've never seen the bottom part ever on one. I think it's great.
And this one, fortunately, the guy was a bad shot. He never got the horse.
Bullet holes always make things interesting as long as they don't take away from how it looks. When you get into a place like cowboy country, that stuff's way more popular.
Now, here's the magic question. What's it worth?
What's it worth? I have the feeling, looking at that, I figure $650 anyway, Scott, and possibly more, you know, in the right area.
Thanks a lot for your help.
Hey, take care.
Bye.
Hey, well, that's all right.
It was rare, it was desirable, and he even sounded like he might want it. Overall, I quite enjoyed that.
You sure do drive slowly. What part of a speed limit don't you understand?
It's precious cargo in the back.
But it's early, so I'll cut you a little slack, but
Okay, well,
geez,
take the wheel then.
no, gee. Where are you taking us here?
Well, it's a secret little place I have down
Like
here.
the dungeon.
Promise you're not going to eat us. Wow, have you got stuff?
I'll pass it over.
This could be the bell off the train that killed Jumbo the elephant.
The sky's the limit on what we could make them. Wow, that's amazing. That's off a turn-of-the-century Ferris wheel. There's a ton of them here. What did I just see there? Sheldon, you gotta see this. Wow.
That one goes into the Pickers Hall of Fame.
Ah, I love the smell of mold in the morning. I'm Scott Cozens,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're Pickers. We travel all over Canada, coast to coast, from the West Rocky Mountains to the Eastern Shores and all the back roads in between, looking for hidden gems in people's basements, attics, and barns. Sometimes we take a gamble, trust in our gut to make a buck.
Just like the people we meet, every story is different.
It's not junk to us.
You know, Canadians from coast to coast, you gotta just love them.
I'm a Canadian. You're a Canadian. And I love you.
Separate rooms tonight at the hotel. I love picking in southern Ontario.
I do too. There's so much great stuff, so much history here. So we're heading over to Oshawa, where we're going to see Tim. He's got some toys, I think. And then we're going to go see Phil in St. Thomas. Hopefully we'll get a couple jumbo things there. And then we're going to take a pretty long trip up to Baldwin. He's got some kiddie carnival rides or something like that.
Hey, this is an incredible road trip.
It is.
Well, we're here in Oshawa.
Home of the Oshawa Generals.
Tim's got the most incredible toy collection.
We haven't bought any toys in a long time. It'd be nice to see a good collection of toys. I'm really looking forward to meeting Tim because I started in the business as a toy guy.
Hey, are you Tim?
Yes, I am.
Not throwing anything good out, are you?
Oh, geez, no.
Scott will just go through that for you.
No such thing as bad stuff.
Well, let's go see what you got. You got a few license plates there.
Yeah, not enough, though.
This should be good. I come up and there's walls of toys.
Wow. Have you got stuff? So what's the story here?
I've been collecting toys now for about 20 some odd years. Started out, the grandfather gave me a toy and he says, one day you're gonna need some money, sell it. So it actually got me a $300 bill, so that's all I've been doing ever since, buying and selling.
Is there anything off limits or is everything up for grabs in here?
Everything in here is up to grabs.
I'm a happy man.
Some of these things have been here for a while, Tim.
Yeah, well, I always tell everybody, dust is free, everything else you pay for.
The great thing about Sheldon and I as a team is when we walk into a garage that has toys and antiques, I don't even look at the antiques. You don't mind if I climb a little bit, do you?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'll try not to kill myself because I know Sheldon's got the antiques covered. He knows I've got the toys covered. You ever seen one of these, Sheldon?
No. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. By the time we're done with it, it'll be broken.
That's a good one.
I see some from the 60s, some from the 50s, and then there's a couple of gems I see that are even earlier than that. Now that is a beaut. That's a 1928 Metalcraft, I think. This is a reasonably early example of Coca-Cola advertising. As early as there have been toys, there's been somebody that wanted to advertise on those toys. So they put the advertising on the toy that a kid can play with all the time, and that image is being ingrained into that child's head. What that has done has made advertising toys the most desirable of toys. So what would you need out of your Metalcraft truck?
Yeah, let me see. I'd say 350.
Are you negotiable on the truck at all?
It took almost 8 years to find that.
This one was a bit of a beater. In this condition, with the back toast and the side toast, I'd want to pay $200 for it.
Make it 250.
2 1/4?
Sure.
Done. While I'm holding the Coke truck, I see up in the rafters another Metalcraft truck. Yeah, that is beautiful.
But
This
the
is
best you're gonna find.
It's a Sunshine Biscuit Metalcraft truck. They made that in advertising for a whole bunch of different companies, probably 1920s. I'm actually getting the shivers up my spine because I've never seen that toy before, and I've seen a lot of toys. It's missing a couple of hubcaps, one on each side.
Yep.
but they're easily obtained. So what would you need out of that baby?
I'll go 100 on it.
You know what? I'm not even going to negotiate. That's a fair price. I mean, I know you probably give me a break, but I think that's a fair price. I'm excited. I can feel the tingle up my spine. I'm excited.
I know that Scott has toys covered, no problem.
20 on that one.
I get 25.
Okay, done.
I'm looking for things other than toys. Hey, Tim, did you find these phones locally?
Yes, I got them last Saturday, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I bought them in yard sale here in Oshawa.
One of the few things in this corner that's not dusty, so
I got off work and went to the yard sale and it was sitting there.
timing's everything.
Oh, yeah.
Tim's a sharp guy. He's buying right. He's the first guy at the garage sale. This one in particular.
It's actually a nice piece.
Yeah, pre-dial, brass.
You got to go, hello, hello!
To a true phone collector, this one, Western Electric. They were good phones. How's my timing? What would I have to pay to buy a phone or two?
You want both of them? $100.
Would you say 75?
It's yours.
Done. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
He made a good profit, and Scott and I are going to do well with those.
Hey, Tim, is it okay if I pull a few things down, lay them in the middle of the floor, and we see if we can do a bulk deal?
You go right ahead.
Perfect.
Do you like a hand?
I think I'll just pass you the chainsaw.
Cut a deal.
Yeah, exactly. You never want to start with a lot buy, because if there's an impasse, you could be done. So you always want to buy a few single items first, get the momentum going, and then get the lot buy. Oh, here's another one. It's a nice old caddy, eh? Here, I'll pass it over.
It's actually a tooth mover when you pull down.
It's a Mark's one. It's sort of an interesting one. After I dust the dust off. There's guys that don't want to spend the big money on the high-end items, and they like the little ones because they look good on a shelf.
Yep.
Found another one. Now that is a beaut. That one's a real nice car. 1936 Mark's.
All right, love it.
It was a surprise to find the police car there, simply because it was so much older than all the other toys on that shelf. The winder's gone on that one, is it?
It's still
oh, no, it's still going. But at least it goes, right? This baby's got the good old solid rubber wheels. The rubber wheels are, of course, 10 years, 15 years earlier. Okay.
I don't think I'm going to group that one on yet, though.
He sort of snickers and says to me, I think we'll negotiate on that separately. But we know that's not going cheap because it's a good toy, and Tim knows his toys.
My favorite piece in the collection is the police car. It's just unique. It's hard to find, but when I found it, I was thrilled. No negotiating on the green one.
I figured that might be the case. Okay, I'm thinking I don't really want to make an offer on these ones unless he makes one at the same time. So I decide, let's play a little game. You think about a price in your head, and I'm going to think about a price in my head.
On three, gentlemen. 1, 2,
3.
5.
See, I'm thinking wholesale, you're thinking retail. We both know what they're worth. I can't split you in the middle on that, but I'll go 350.
How about we go 375?
What do you want on that one?
Well, I hate to tell you. I'd like to get at least 350.
How about if I take the dusty lot and the one that you obviously care about more because you've taken the dust off it, I bring it back into the package because I know we're getting up there in dollars. $675 on the lot. Okay, so let's just make sure we can get a good look at all these guys.
I thought Tim was going to be way too high on those toys.
$675, package deal on all of them.
It's yours.
Done. Thank you. I'm happy with that.
No problem.
A lot of these toys are from the era when I grew up. I'm quite happy to have them all.
At this point, we're pretty much done, except Scott is never done.
As I've been looking up in the rafters, I've been noticing you got a bunch of CPR lanterns.
Yep.
You got 7 CPR, and you got 2 over here that I like. This one and this one. I have a bit of a soft spot for those CPR lanterns because my dad used to hang them around the patio of our house and light them up at night for people when we had a barbecue. So whenever I see one, it just makes me happy, it makes me smile. So I wasn't leaving without them. What's a package deal on all of them?
How about 100?
You know what? $100 is a fair price. Round number,
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. And for $10 a throw, we'll sell those real easy for 20. Now I think we've really done as much damage as we can do. We better get some packing material.
I like that.
Sheldon and Scott are hilarious. They know what they're after, and basically no means nothing to them.
So we're not breaking your heart buying them?
No, I'll just probably find them again.
I'm sure you will. He loved buying them more than he loved having them, and he was happy to move them along because he's going to go out and buy some more.
I'm always happy to buy 2 at one price.
Some people do this business for love, some people do it for money. Sheldon and I do it for a little bit of both, and so does Tim. I think we got her.
Hey, Tim, that was a lot of fun.
It was.
That was fabulous.
Yep.
We're going to spread some toys around Alberta.
Well, make sure he's not playing with them on the way home either.
And you make sure you keep picking and get some more stuff because
Oh,
next
I'll
time
make
we
sure
come
I fill
by,
that
man,
up.
we'll be back to get more.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Yeah, see ya.
I can barely talk now. There's so much dust in my
You know,
throat.
I could use one of those barley sandwiches. That
I
would
could really
probably-
use 1 or 3.
St. Thomas was a railway town.
Yeah, that's right. 1870, 1880, it was quite a hub. Now, somewhere around here, there it is, right up there.
There's
Jumbo!
Oh, wow.
He was the most famous elephant in the world in about 1880. Let's go look at Jumbo.
Hi.
How you doing?
Isn't Jumbo big?
Yeah?
People came from all around to see Jumbo. He was Barnum and Bailey's big attraction.
If this is life-sized, that was a big elephant.
Oh, yeah.
He got hit by a train.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Grand Trunk train in St. Thomas.
The story goes, Jumbo was actually protecting a smaller elephant, little Tom Thumb, and put himself in harm's way just to try and get Tom Thumb off the tracks. Jumbo was a hero to a lot of kids, and adults, actually.
Could you imagine? I heard that it took like 4 butchers to come down, cut him up in pieces to get him away, and sewed him back together and stuffed him.
Sounds like an urban myth.
Truth is stranger than fiction, bud. Great old building.
Quaint little town, St. Thomas. Lovely.
Yeah. So, we're going to see Phil. He's got a building. Apparently, he's just a guy that picks up anything he sees.
So where is he?
There's a sign right there. He's eclectic, I'll give him that.
Oh, yeah. Walk in the door at Phil's and you're hit with just a mass of merchandise. And the assortment of it is really intriguing.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. Sheldon?
Sheldon, yes.
My partner Scott.
How are you?
Scott.
Great store.
Well, it's not so much a store as a hoard spot. I'm actually in the media business. I do audio production.
Phil's an old rock and roller.
Music, rock concert T-shirts, those things that most exemplify my growing up as a teenager. Those are the things that I have the most connection to.
We see a few guys like Phil in this business. He needs to sell, but he can't stop buying.
I'm trying to get rid of it all. I'm going to be downsizing. We're selling our building, and I need to move out. So, guys, go nuts. Have a look around.
Hey, I was noticing your coffee table right here.
My end table, yeah.
Yeah,
there,
man,
but,
that's heavy.
Well, that's the real deal. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thickness of it right there. It would be circa probably Prohibition era. John Labatt, of course, is a local brewer.
London.
That's right.
Now, what would you need for something like that?
I'd like to see $150 for it, maybe.
Huh. But I'm gonna see how motivated he really is. I'd offer you $100 for it.
Sure, why not?
All right.
Get a deal.
All right.
I told you, stuff is priced to go here.
So now I knew when we saw merchandise we wanted, we were gonna walk away with it today.
Sheldon, a history of orgies.
You got my curiosity.
There's no pictures.
Put it away.
What's the point?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a bunch of things that I'm gonna buy in this room.
There were a lot of things in the room, but I was scrambling looking for something that was really good. Now, you've got a great railroad history here. Is this a local piece?
Yep.
It's a crossing light, right?
Sure is, yep.
What would you part with it for?
How about $1 a pound?
30 bucks? He's looking at me like...
I'll help him carry it.
You can't get hurt at 30 bucks, but I'm not sure what we're gonna do with it.
I'll do 30 on that.
Good man.
Nice.
I'm always looking for pop culture. I'm looking for interesting things that I can either sell or maybe have a use for myself. I'm a huge Rolling Stones fan.
Okay.
Up to about 1975, 76.
Right, yeah.
After that, I'm out.
Yeah.
But my wife loves them still.
Here I thought we were picking, and you've gone on a shopping trip for your wife.
My wife loves the Rolling Stones.
I love your wife,
Didn't you
but
say
I didn't know we were shopping for her
You stay
today.
away from my wife.
I'll tell you what, you're gonna pay for this one. That one I'll throw in for free. So I'm gonna want 50 bucks for this T-shirt.
I can't do it.
Come on.
No, like normally I would pay 10 or 15 bucks.
Well, okay, so you paid 15 for that one. What would you pay for that one then?
I was sort of thinking with the throw-in.
Right, yeah. I would do the pair of them for 25 bucks. You're not
Here,
gonna sell them.
I'm going to shake on his behalf if he thinks his wife likes it. Thank you very much on his behalf.
I know you're getting a steal on
And-
this. I was a Black Sabbath fan, guy, so you wouldn't get that out of me for a Black Sabbath shirt.
You got the eclectic collection here, Phil.
I have an eye for everything, I think.
I've already changed gears. It's apparent to Sheldon and I, we're not buying volume here. So now we're looking for that one good item that makes the pick worthwhile.
You don't have anything jumbo related, would you?
Well, it's tough to get here in St. Thomas because everybody wants a piece of the Jumbo legend.
Didn't they carve him up while he was on the track?
They sure did. Well, supposedly there's pieces of them around town that people have, but I have something even better. No one else will ever have.
Really? That really caught our attention. Whoa. Where are you taking us here?
Well, it's a secret little place I have down
It's like
here.
the dungeon.
You promise you're not going to eat us?
Oh, Scott. Phil takes us down into this really musty, dingy basement.
All right, through here.
This must be where he stores the bodies.
Phil, where are you?
I'm over here.
I love the smell of mold in the morning.
We're almost there.
What's he doing with us?
All right, this is what I brought you to see, guys.
Where is he taking us? Yikes!
Okay.
Whoa.
Not often you see a meat locker in the basement of a building in St. Thomas, but this particular meat locker should be famous. This is the building that was owned by the butcher who chopped up Jumbo after he was on the track. Absolutely. Pete Peters, the butcher. So he would have come in here, brought some of the pieces possibly in here.
Oh,
So you got
no,
jumbo
no.
steaks in there?
But you never know.
I'm going in now.
Check it out, you sure?
Yeah.
Hey, you need a new partner?
Whoa.
Yeah, were you thinking of closing the door?
Give him a kick, we'll take care of it right now.
I've been trying to close the door on Scott for a long time.
Quite possibly some of the pieces might have been stored here, but he was the guy that was in charge of the quartering, and this was his meat lockers.
And if you look at the hinges on that, that's classic freezer hinge. That's a great door.
Yeah,
Hinges
show
on
us
there.
the door.
No. That's gonna be my studio door.
Wow. You didn't find any tusks in there, did you?
I didn't find any tusks in there, no, but I could see where Jumbo was trying to claw his way out, though. Phil's got his little piece of Jumbo. He can't prove it one way or the other, but you know what? It's a good story, and we're going with it. You know what, Sheldon?
Yeah.
If we buried you down here, they'd never find you.
No, they wouldn't even come looking.
Exactly. That was weird.
Yeah, that was different.
So is this where you recorded?
This is my little studio. Oh, you're looking at the guitars?
Well, I can't ever not look at a guitar. First thing I see is a Gibson Les Paul. I've bought and sold and collected guitars for a long time. The two big names in electric guitars are Gibson and Fender. Les Paul was the guy that invented the electric guitar, and that's why the Gibson model is named after him. This is
that's
early 70s, right?
74, that's an early one.
Black Beauty, right?
You can't afford those 50s ones.
Plays nice.
Now Scott's spotted perhaps the treasure.
So, what would it take to pry this baby away from you? I really, really, really wanted that guitar, but I wanted it at a good price.
Would you do 3 on it?
Phil started at $3,000, which was too rich for us. You see, you're getting up into retail level then, right?
Well...
And we're gonna have to try and resell it.
Would you? Would you try and resell that?
Well, okay, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. 24 is the best I can do on her. Can't go a nickel lower. I just can't. But I mean, that's a great investment. You know it's not gonna go down in value.
Now guitars have gone through the roof. In fact, there are people that have companies that invest in guitars and sell shares in their company. Shell, I mean, as you probably gleaned, I buy more guitars than I sell. So I haven't sold a Black Beauty in a long time. We might make $300, $400, $500 off it, but it may take a little while. Are you okay with that?
Oh, if you're okay, I'm in.
2,400.
Oh, that's a deal. Yeah. Now I gotta go and cry somewhere.
There's some fun stuff here.
Yeah. The best picks are always volume and quality.
Piece of railway history from St. Thomas.
Sometimes you get volume, sometimes you get quality. I think I should pick up an amp and then I can serenade you while you're driving. In this case, we didn't get volume, but we got a really good item. I'm glad Sheldon paid for half of it because I might be able to keep it for a while. I haven't got that much into it now.
That was too much fun not to come back.
I hope to see you guys again.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
That was a lot of stuff. I'm really happy about that Les Paul. I'll keep that at my place for safekeeping.
Yeah.
I was interested in what Phil said about the guy up the road. Phil said he had a buddy named Jake that may have just the thing we were looking for. He's got an old church and he's got a jumbo-related item, is how he said it.
Hey, well, that's worth a look. What do you think it might be?
Well, I'm thinking, I don't think it's a piece of jumbo.
That's too big of a stretch.
Well, plus the fact that Barnum had him stuffed and took him around with him and then they burned up in a fire. So it could be anything.
Yeah. We're looking for...
a church, and that's it, right there. What a great building. Hello, how are you doing? Scott.
I'm Jake.
I'm Sheldon.
How you doing?
So how long since this has been a church?
This one was actually built back in the early 50s. We just acquired it not too long ago, and we use it for mostly music these days.
Oh, is that right? So the story goes that you have a jumbo item. Does that mean a large item or something related to Jumbo the elephant?
Well, it's a little bit of both. Let me take you inside and I'll show you and you can decide for yourself.
Perfect. When you walk into a building, in this case a church, and see something spectacular that you didn't expect to see,
come on in, guys.
Wow.
And there it sits. That's a big one.
This would be the big item.
That is almost a religious moment for a picker. And was it in this church?
It was in this church. Climbed up in the belfry and I discovered that there indeed was a train bell in the church, not a church bell.
So how does this relate to Jumbo?
Jumbo the elephant was whacked by a train in the late 1800s.
Right.
The bell from that train was never found.
Are you saying this is the bell?
The only missing bell in all of the records of our station is the Jumbo bell.
No records for the church?
All we know is that this bell was donated when this church was built back in '52. We tried to track down the lineage of this bell by bringing in actual railroad engineers who were 95 and 97 years old. They knew the style of the yoke and the type of bell and the color of the paint. And it was one of the old guys that said, that's probably the bell off the train that killed Jumbo.
Really?
It's huge.
Yeah.
By railway standards. It's 17.5 inches across.
Is there some significance to that with respect to the train that killed Jumbo?
Well, that was a giant double boiler. And most of the big trains, the double boilers, were all 17.5 inch.
Does it have to have the bigger bell that made more noise because it had double boilers instead of one boiler?
More noise coming off the engine.
Right. Wow, listen to that, eh? you sure hear the train coming.
Too bad Jumbo didn't hear it coming. Jake had taken this on as a project. He's been doing all sorts of research on the piece, going down to the museum, and I think he's partway there.
One marking on the inside of the bell, which is really interesting, is on the side of the clapper.
Exactly.
It reads Keystone.
Keystone. Okay, that's an American company.
Yeah, that's a foundry located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and is period correct for the time.
So this may be the bell off the train.
This could be the bell off the train that killed Jumbo.
If it has a Jumbo connection, the sky's the limit on what we could make of it. Question is, what do you want for it?
The last one I saw quoted on, with no provenance, no markers, no nothing, was going at $4,500.
Have you ever seen one that's sold?
I haven't been looking for the ones that sold.
Okay, so what do you want for this one?
I'd like to see, 25 out of it.
He's telling us it's worth $4,500, and then he's saying, I'd let it go for $2,500. So he's trying to give us the impression we're getting a deal, even if we take his number. We just don't do that. Well, I'll tell you, here's what we're thinking. We would want to try and flip this for $2,800, which means we got to buy it, leave ourselves some room. So we're thinking, Sheldon, you pull the trigger. 2? Okay, I got an offer for you.
All right.
$2,200. You got our deal.
Thanks, guys.
I love this bell.
They get their bell, I got a little cash to go towards my mortgage, and I'm a happy camper. I'm gonna be crying down the road if I hear this was the Jumbo bell, and I could have bought myself a new Porsche.
I think we scored Jumbo.
If we can tie it into Jumbo, this could be the windfall of the decade for us. Jake, thanks a lot.
You guys have a good night. Thanks for everything.
Okay.
I cannot see a thing behind me. Get me every time, too.
That joke never gets old, does it?
Gonna give me a heart attack.
We're heading out to see Jim.
Yeah, and this one sounds like it really could be good. This guy's been in the amusement game business forever.
Like,
And
are we talking about the little horses that used to sit out in front of the hardware store?
Yeah, yeah. Anything coin operated.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled.
There!
Look at the vending machines out to the side of the place.
You know you're in the right place.
Jeez, I almost turned in front of that semi.
You got a little excited there, didn't
you?
Yeah.
This is a great place. Darth Dog. I like the little Jumbo on the side of the shed. Look at the old horse.
And I bet you that's Jim right there.
He's got a cowboy hat on. That's a good sign.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I'm guessing you'd be Jim.
Where'd you hear that?
I'm Sheldon, my
Scott.
partner Scott.
Hi, Scott. Nice meeting you. Oh, you be quiet.
He's protecting you. He knows we're going to try and take stuff off you.
So I heard you've been in the amusement business for quite some time.
About 50 years.
When you first got in, a nickel and a dime probably bought something.
Oh, a nickel and a penny.
A penny?
A bloody penny. Imagine that. Started with one gum machine. Then got into a few kiddie rides, a few pinballs, a few pop machines. I always said it was recession-proof because when you don't have any money in your pocket, you still got a quarter to give the kid for a bubble gum. Bubble gum built this. It's pretty good. You want to see some rides?
I'd love
to see some rides.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at this rocket ship. I always wanted to go to space.
That's a good place to hang your hat.
It's time for this stuff to go because I'm going to celebrate my 80th birthday, I hope, very soon.
Got a little motorcycle, too.
Everything's for sale, including me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Feel like Peter Fond already.
I'm going across the country with a middle-aged kid.
I never saw anybody who enjoyed that so much as he does. Oh, yeah. Want to ride this one?
Whoa, there it goes. Okay, I'm coming in. I think I got you by a nose. See, this is the way we are. I'm all flash and style,
Yeah.
and you're all meat and potatoes.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you for that.
You guys are crazy.
Let's get picking. There are 3 things about this pick that make this a picker's dream. 1, he needs to get rid of stuff. Man, look, there's another jet there. 2, we got a guy that's been in the same business for 60 years.
This is a chuck wagon, Scott.
Looks like a chariot. And 3, he never sold anything. He kept everything that he amassed over 60 years.
Oh, geez. Take one or take them all?
We'll take a lot that work, put it that way.
Okay.
Do you have any of the larger horses?
I do. Down in that building down there.
Seriously, let's go.
Okay.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
2 horses, 3 horses. Do these all work?
This guy works.
That is
Oh, that's a
great
beauty.
one. It was big, it was blue, it was beautiful, had a leather saddle on it. It was a good one. So what do you want for a working one as opposed to a non-working horse, just so we know?
Well, this one, say 500.
Yeah.
Then the non-working one, I don't know, 200, 250.
What if we were to buy a whole herd of horses?
Because then we can sell them to somebody to use as a prop in their window during stampede, right?
How many's in a herd?
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's a herd of horses. So say $1,000.
Whoa. Just hold on. I don't know about that. A whole bunch of things go through our mind when we get into a place like this, which you don't do very often. The first thing that goes through your mind is, how am I going to get this home? See, what I'm thinking, we don't want to be in the busty ones for any more than 50 to 100 bucks, max, because of the cost of getting them back home and everything else, right?
Yeah.
Once you get over that hurdle and realize you're going to have to get a truck to take it home, you're saying, how can I make this worthwhile? So if we were to go 800, I'd feel comfortable. That's what I'm thinking.
Is that a deal?
Give me a 900. Give me 900.
800. But
I don't have to do anything.
you don't have to do anything except open the doors and we'll get them out.
Yeah, I'll do that deal.
Done.
I got it.
We want to ride those horses back to Calgary. Do you have any more horses on the premises?
I might have a couple of elephants.
A couple elephants?
Yeah, not real.
Where are they?
Well, I didn't think you'd have the real ones.
Yeah. Show us the way, Jim.
So which trailer are they in?
The green trailer.
Scott, the pink elephant. I gotta get up there and get a closer look. Look at these elephants.
A pink, a blue, and a brown or something.
And all hand painted.
The blue one looks like it's painted like Jumbo.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a thing for Jumbo.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. This is cool. They're big, they're bold, they're brightly colored.
They are beautiful.
And they look like they're in just about perfect condition. So what would something like this cost new?
4,000.
4,000 bucks. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a pain in the butt moving these, Sheldon, but what would it take for us to drive these babies away?
Oh, let's say 1,000 bucks.
That's for the 3, right?
Yeah.
How about if we went 750 for the 3? Would that be fair for you? I don't want you to be upset, but is that good?
We'll do a deal.
Done.
We'll do a deal.
I love those elephants. Those
That's
elephants.
great.
Goodbye, elephant.
Now we got a herd of elephants.
Anywhere else for us to see, Jim?
How about the Ferris wheel? Antique
You got a Ferris wheel?
Really?
Or an old circus Ferris wheel.
How old is old?
I think it's 1895.
I've got a tendency that I always have to climb on something if it looks like it can be climbed. Wow, that's amazing. There's a ton of them here.
If Scott and I are doing our job properly as pickers, we're visualizing the next use of something.
You could make a really good bench in front of your cabin out of it, couldn't you?
If you owned it, that's where you'd sit.
Right, but you just get a new cushion made for it.
Right.
Well, do you know what I'm wondering? Based on the shape of them, I'm wondering if this design was patterned after a horse-drawn carriage. When you're dealing with architectural antiques like that,
It's a similar little bench, isn't it?
very similar. The story's half the battle. When somebody can say, hey, where'd you get that cool seat? That's off a turn-of-the-century Ferris wheel. That sells the seat. We don't have to sell it. There's 12 seats. So if 2 guys from Calgary were interested in buying 1, 2, 5, 10, what would they be per? We need to have a good deal because they are heavy.
I don't know. What do you give me? What are you offering today?
If we took them all, would you say 25?
I'd say if you take them all, 25.
Yeah. Done.
Done deal.
25 times
Hey, Jim,
12.
that's great. Thank you for that.
That old Ferris wheel, I was really surprised that they had any interest at all in the thing. That's pretty funny.
I'm not sure what we're going to do with them, but...
That's great. Helps me. It gets rid of some stuff from here. I hope they make $1 million.
Holy cow.
Want to go inside and see what we got?
We've probably done all the damage we can do, but may as well take a look, right?
Thank you. Take a look around.
Oh, you got a few things in here, Jim.
Yes, sir. Lots of stuff in here.
What did I just see there? And I look back, and sure enough, I see the tail fin on what looks like it's a caddy or something, but it's got a red stripe on it. Sheldon, you gotta see this. It's a Batman kiddie ride. Wow.
Oh, yeah, the Batmobile.
I look on the license plate. It says Gotham City 1966, and I cannot believe my eyes. I have never had the opportunity to actually see one. How long have you had this?
Probably 40 years.
40 years. That is great. Can we buy this from you? I didn't think we were gonna find anything this good.
No kidding.
What would you need out of this? I knew we were gonna have to pay a good dollar for it because that was a good thing. I mean, an elephant's an elephant and it's nice, but this is a Batmobile.
Oh, a couple of thousand.
Couple of thousand. I'd be happy to go $1,000 on it because it's Batman.
I might consider 13.
What do you do in the auction business?
Yeah, give him one of those.
$12.50?
There you go. Sold.
Oh, man, that is fabulous.
That's a great buy.
That is great. I love that.
Only because I like you.
This might go in my house for my kids to play with for a while.
You sure you don't want to buy some more stuff?
I'm scared if we stay too long, you're going to sell us the property.
Okay.
The pieces that we bought today were a little part of our youth.
Now I'm gonna go home and tell my mom she scarred me because she wouldn't let me ride on them when I was a kid so much that I had to buy one.
Hey, Jim, this was just the most fun we've had in a long time.
Oh, me too. Thanks for coming.
And now we're in the amusement business.
You got that right. Enjoy it. That's what I kept everything for, so that somebody could restore it and bring it back to life. That's the whole name of the game.
I think he's happy. We're sure happy. This was literally one of the best days I've had picking in my life. Well, you take care of yourself.
Thank you, you too.
Okay.
Yeah, have a good trip. I think they're like family. I think they got the right attitude.
You don't get those very often in
Oh,
this business.
yeah, that was just incredible.
I'd love to do what they're doing.
We're going to see Terry in St. Thomas, Ontario, the site of the Jumbo Railroad accident. Terry has been in the railroad industry for many years, works in the industry, and he's a serious jumbo collector. And he's going to give us an appraisal on our bell.
Wow.
This be the big item.
But we bought it in a funny location.
The only missing bell in all of the records of our station is the jumbo bell.
So hopefully he's got a photo and we'll know for sure. I think this is our house right here.
We've heard that Terry is probably the biggest jumbo collector in this area. He's also got experience as a railroader, being in the railroad for over 35 years. The combination of those two things makes him the guy we want to see about our bell.
I'm Sheldon.
Oh, nice to meet you, Sheldon.
Scott.
Nice to meet you, Scott. Welcome to St. Thomas.
We understand you got a lot of jumbo stuff.
I've certainly had my eye on jumbo for many years. Come on in, see what I got.
We've been looking forward to this. Wow. Terry, you got some stuff here.
Terry's got a cross-section of jumbo collectibles. He's got glass, he's got toys.
It's a mechanical bank. He would press his tail, and there she goes.
Isn't that good?
I know what's out there. I know what's rare. I've been watching that market for 30 years. That's a photo of Jumbo laying there on the side of the bank after he'd been struck and killed. A very big piece of Canadian history. It's a very big piece of railroad history. You can see the engine in the background. That wasn't the engine that actually hit him. It's a prop for this picture.
Is there any known photo of the engine immediately after the crash that shows the bell?
I haven't seen one. It was a big deal to take a picture in those days. It was also dark. It was 9:30 at night when Jumbo was killed. It was after the show.
Okay, something's been bugging me for a long time. I can't figure out how this accident even happened, because this is the world famous Jumbo being taken across the train tracks. How does a train hit him? How does somebody not see the train? Did the train not see Jumbo?
Wasn't the bell ringing?
People saw a headlight. The circus trains were all on one side, and there was a deep ditch on the other side. The train was coming. They probably had 5 or 6 minutes at the most, and they had to run like 30 cars. Jumbo got trapped between the cars and ditches. People are running at the train trying to stop it, and Jumbo's running.
Any mention of the bell in the reports?
Well, the bell, they say, was knocked off in the accident. That's where it ends.
Yeah, we've got something to show you.
Okay, great.
Now it's our turn.
You don't see these every day. Ready?
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
That's a big piece of brass.
What do you got here for a diameter, 17 inches?
17 and a half.
Okay, 17.5 inch. Wow. I was shocked to see what looked to be a railroad bell. I was really quite stunned to see it, tell you the truth. Any marks, serial numbers?
No numbers on the bell. There is a name inside. It says Keystone.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's a Keystone bell, because the actual ringer is separate from the bell.
Absolutely. It would have been 2 different manufacturers. Like somebody would have made the frame and for mounting it, and this would have been made somewhere else that specialized in brass.
Well, a bell like this, if it has no connection to the Jumbo train, what do you think a bell like this would be worth?
Well, it's an absolutely incredible railroad piece. The bell is very rare because lots of them didn't survive. There was a big chunk of brass there, so a lot of them ended up in the scrap pile. I'm sure there's lots of railroad collectors that would be interested in that bell just for the sake of the bell. Well, the value of the bell is in the $4,000 range.
Wow, Scott and I are really pleased. This is a good appraisal.
Now, what if it's the Jumbo bell?
I don't have any reason to say that this isn't from the engine that struck Jumbo, but I don't have any proof positive that it is either. If that was the Jumbo bell, every disco light and siren would be going off in St. Thomas, and they would be landing corporate jets at the airport, because there's lots of people in North America that would want that bell.
If you could tie it to Jumbo, what would it bring?
I'm sure that, you're talking like a $10,000 to $15,000 bell.
Whoa!
Yeah. Bingo!
Exactly.
That's exciting news.
Terry, thanks a lot for the
You're
appraisal.
welcome, Scott.
Hey, thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Sheldon. You guys take care.
You keep looking, we'll keep looking, and we'll keep in touch. But we're not going to sell that bell until we do a little more investigation. Well, as usual, Ontario was fabulous, picked a bunch of great things, but it's time to go west.
I still think we have the Jumbo bell. The mystery continues.
It's a good mystery to have, right? I can smell rust.
No trespassing.
No exit. Look, he's got the axe he uses for killing people there.
2 pickers roll up and then are never seen again. Oh, you live in here?
I do.
You're a sick man.
Well, that's a supreme compliment, isn't it?
Exactly. What's it going to take to drive away with this one right here?
$1,800.
Whoa!
And what would something like that sell for?
Probably about $600.
And if we were going to buy it, how much would it be?
Probably about $600.
Like the look.
Oh, thank you very much.
First time I've ever picked from a guy with hair longer than me.
The door goes up.
I'm Scott Cozens.
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
And we're pickers.
See that fork in the road?
Take it.
We travel all over Canada.
Looking for hidden gems in basements, attics, and barns. For me, it's all about the thrill of the hunt. Oh man, we might have hit the mother lode here. I like to move fast. I can always find something we can make a profit on.
I thought I'd seen it all, Scott. I'm looking for that one-of-a-kind item that has its own story to tell. Just like the people we meet, every story is different. It's not junk to us.
Sheldon, we got way too much stuff. Look at the crap we got everywhere. We need more space.
What is your underwear and socks doing?
Not my socks. I don't wear white socks.
Those aren't my socks.
Maybe they're that hitchhiker we picked up on the street. Our place in Calgary is 10 times as bad as this. We got to get more space. We need a bigger place.
And it's got to be on ground level. No more stairs.
I'm so sick of humping that stuff downstairs. My back is killing me.
Why don't we start looking for some space?
Deal.
Oh, I love BC.
Look at that. Yeah, that's wonderful.
So we're going to the Cowichan Valley, and isn't this appropriate? It means sun at your back.
Get the sun in my face right now.
In Salish.
Oh, is it Salish Indians?
Yeah.
In Cowichan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're going to see Mike today, a lifetime collector/accumulator who's got stuff everywhere, indoors, outdoors, barns, basement. There's got to be something good there.
You never know what you're gonna see.
I think we're getting close. I can smell rust.
I think this might be it.
That's a crazy little driveway, isn't it? We make the turn into Mike's place, and it's a weird little narrow road. I feel like I'm going into the back roads of Aintree.
Hey, look at the bathtub, Scott.
Oh, my Lord.
No trespassing.
No exit. Does that mean he's
Is
going to
this-
eat us if we go up here? Look, he's got the axe he uses for killing people there.
I thought, whoa.
More bathtubs.
Bathtubs you can throw lime in. And...
I've heard stories of places like that where two pickers roll up and then are never seen again.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This
Look
is
at this. It's got like 3 buildings out here.
As you come up, his house is on the left-hand side. It's covered with stuff. This is literally a mountain of stuff. I've never seen so much stuff in one place.
We gotta meet Mike.
I'm almost afraid to get out.
Yeah. When there's that many things outside, you know there's gonna be a lot inside.
Mike.
Good to meet you, Mike.
Hey,
Thank
Mike.
you, Scott.
I'm Sheldon.
Hi, Sheldon.
You're a little bit of an accumulator here, Mike.
You name it, it's there. I collect hangers, lights, bed pads, pedestal sinks, bathtubs. I've gone overboard.
So how long have you been here?
Since the day before yesterday. I have been here for 30 years. I think they'll be taking me out on the horizontal. That's the only way I will leave.
And what's the story?
They call me Hector the Collector.
Okay.
And I do sell. I like to buy, though. What I sell, I can go out and buy other things. So it's just getting bigger, bigger, bigger.
I'd like to expand your wallet a little right now. I'd like to buy the railway sign.
That is sad. Almost everything is for sale.
But not the thing I like first.
Sorry.
So nothing in this whole area is for sale?
Everything in there is for sale.
Well, then let's go look.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. You got armies of tubs. What's a bathtub selling for these days?
Which one would you like?
This little 5-footer right here.
That's not a 5-footer, that's a 6-footer.
Size don't matter, but
size does matter.
Sheldon thinks he's 6 feet
Take
too.
a look at that.
That's a beauty.
Nice condition on the inside.
All right. What's it gonna take to drive away with this one right here?
1,800.
1,800, Mike. I would take a bath, wouldn't I? He wants an astronomical price. Wow, Mike, you get a kick out of this, don't you?
I enjoy it. This is my life.
You got collections of collections.
Yeah, there are a few lights there.
Welcome to the trunk department.
Every now and then, we see people like Mike. These are people that fill their life up with stuff. They're a little indiscriminate about what they buy.
Now that's a chainsaw.
It's the good, the bad, the ugly. Is that not the cheesiest picture you've ever seen in your life?
I think that's gorgeous.
Imagine the guy using these moccasins till the last day. That looks like Vancouver Island rat to me. Hey, how come this tub is here, Mike, not in with all the other soldiers?
Right over top of where Sheldon was standing was about a 250-pound bathtub held together with binder twine and attached to the ceiling.
That's a good question.
Mike, I just noticed you got a hot rod up there, a little pedal car.
Yeah, that's very special.
It's a Gendron, I think.
Gendron's an interesting company. They made buggies, baby buggies, didn't they?
Not just baby buggies, but toy baby buggies, too.
Yeah. What do you need out of that one, Mike?
I paid $450 for it.
Whoa! How long have you had it?
6-8 months.
So you're not attached to it?
Oh, I'm very attached.
Mike is a guy that really likes to accumulate, but doesn't like to de-accession his collection unless he gets a really high dollar for it, and in certain circumstances, money's not an object. So why is it hanging in an outbuilding instead of in your house?
I don't have any room in the house. That's why I have to put it out here.
Have you thought about stop buying?
You're as honest as my wife. My wife says it's me or the junk. I couldn't give up my junk. Oh, well. I was out the door.
I don't know what to say. Here's a guy that worked hard all his life. He has a pension. He's single. He lives frugally, but he goes to 4 auctions a week.
There's your auction receipt.
Hey.
You bought it in '97. What are you doing, aging this thing?
Yeah.
That's what he loves to do. He can survive that way.
Yep. Oh, here's what you need.
Yeah,
Picking
you need a
around
hard
here.
hat in here.
Yeah.
But he's sort of getting just buried underneath the stuff he's got.
Mike, I know what my partner would say.
What's that?
He would say you're a sick man.
Well, that's a supreme compliment, isn't it?
Exactly.
The truth is out.
What about that oak stool?
200.
Ouch.
What would you want out of the little tricycle?
85.
Whoa,
85,
man.
Mike?
I could offer it to you for more.
It's real difficult to negotiate with Mike because A, he's paid too much, and B, he doesn't really want to sell. You're not really a seller. Like, you're not a dealer.
Oh, I like to sell.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. But I'm not going to give it away.
I wish I had $1 for every time I heard somebody say that.
It's now time to change gears. Anything that's complete, he wants way too much for. So we're now looking at little bits and pieces that we can maybe marry with something we've got back at the shop and then make some money on it.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah?
I just found a box that I think used to have a telephone in it.
I agree.
Would you part with that?
I will.
What do you want for it?
You put a price on it.
25 bucks.
You're a little low. 35 and it's done.
How about 30? We split the difference.
Give me your hand.
Okay. That's a good place to start, just to get the ball rolling.
What about the slide glass lamp up above?
Yeah, this blue one here.
The color is what makes it, eh?
That's early Canadian glass that has long since been discontinued. You can't buy that blue slag glass.
How about $50?
We've got that fleur-de-lis lamp base back at home. We can marry that shade to our lamp and maybe triple the money we can get for the base alone.
Why don't we keep breaking the ice and say 30?
Hey?
How about 40? We split the difference.
You like splitting the difference. Let's do it.
Good man.
We now have a lamp we can sell for $200.
Yeah. So is this your house?
That is where I live.
Oh, you live in here?
I do.
Boy, you got some good stuff. A lot of clocks. Mike likes a clock. In fact, Mike likes
100 clocks.
It's an obsession. I've got it bad.
Let me show you the lighting department. Hey, Scott, check this out. Now, this is the washroom area.
Mike took open concept to new levels when it came to the bathroom. And I thought you were an exhibitionist. You can tell when you walk in that the hand of a woman is nowhere to be seen. My wife would not want to have a bath or go to the washroom in a room without a door on it.
Well, you've got to be odd to do this, but I'm in a position where I can do it, so I do it.
There's a nice little Spelter Art Deco lamp.
You like the female form.
Well, who doesn't? Mike is a fan of the female form. In fact, everywhere you go, there is the female form. Clad sometimes, often not. What do you think you'd need to get out of that lamp?
4 1/4, I'm guessing.
Holy smoke.
Not a bad little base.
There must be a price on it.
Oh, $55?
Hey?
It's $550.
$550.
Ah,
So, Mike, what's the story in the lamp?
1,700.
Wow.
I'm not even going to give you a counter offer on that one.
No, I wouldn't either. I don't care if it ever leaves.
Yeah.
I noticed that. In fact, there's a few pieces around here you don't care, one way or the other.
Right.
Mike's not motivated to sell, and that's frustrating.
But before we go, we got to just try one more time to find a treasure. Hey, is that a music box?
It is.
May I?
Yes.
I spotted the music box. It was sitting on a chair underneath something, but I don't think Mike had even known it was there. It just became part of the scenery. It was wallpaper to him. This looks like a treasure, Mike. It's a Swiss music box, rosewood case that they've inlaid. This one is a particularly good one because it's got 8 different tunes. Now, is it in working condition? That's the key to it all.
I have never tried it.
Is this Old Lang Syne?
Yeah.
Nice. That's the first time I've heard that run.
See the cylinder with the little pin sticking up? That's hitting these teeth and giving you the sound. Just the thought that somebody could make music in a portable form 100+ years ago, that took a lot of ingenuity, a lot of skill. What do you want for this?
How about 7 1/4?
Ooh, that doesn't leave that little bit of meat on the bone that we need to exist.
All right, what do you suggest?
5?
A little sweet in the pot, and then you got something.
What about 5.50?
Hey?
What about 5.50?
My hearing system goes every once in a while. I earned that.
I'm going to watch you two guys go.
6 will work. Let's do that. I come down 100 1/4. How's that?
5.75, we split the difference. Good man.
Done.
5.75. Makes the day for me, and we make a few bucks to boot.
You know, I've been looking for one of these. Mine got stolen. I saw an oilskin coat hanging on a rack. I wonder if it'll fit me. They're generally for tall, skinny guys, not short, fat guys.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
He looked spiffy. The hat, the long hair.
That's not bad, actually. What do you need out of this?
75 is fine.
That's a fair price. I'll take that for 75.
Done deal.
Perfect. Bought it for 75 bucks. Cost you $275 new, so that was a good deal.
I'm going to play the music box while you twirl around in your new oilskin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Old Lang Syne. Well, speaking of Old Lang Syne, I think it's time for us to get out of here.
Yeah.
Very good.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thanks for your hospitality, Mike.
You're most welcome.
We came, we saw, we lived to pick another day. It's actually not a bad shade, is it, Sheldon?
I like that one.
This thing, you know, it'll probably make a nice medicine cabinet.
Love it. I don't mind picking till it's dark if we get good items. That's a great item.
Mike, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thanks for showing us around. And if you ever decide you really want to lighten the load, we'll be back.
Very good.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Come again. Scott and Sheldon had a good time. They got the odd good buy. It was great.
I'll tell you, if we thought we needed more storage space, he could outfit every home in Duncan with a cast iron bathtub.
And have a few left over.
Exactly.
But what a good guy.
Yeah, no, I liked him. He was fun.
Yeah. I love Victoria. I've been coming here for years.
I've only been to Victoria once. Back in the 70s, here for a hockey tournament. I think it was midget. My most distinct memory of Victoria is having a couple too many, and then me and a buddy went streaking down Main Street.
Streaking? Maybe just for old time's sake. No. We're going to a shop that's closing down, and the shop has been there forever. Forrest and his sister works in the shop too. Classic Victorian antiques.
Well, that's going to be interesting. That's not something we usually do.
Well, we'll find out how motivated Forrest is, but I'm excited because he's got to be out of there, I think, at some point. They've sold the building. Quaint little street.
Great little house.
Wow, this is the place, isn't it?
Good morning, guys.
Hey.
Here.
Scott, how are you?
I'm Sheldon.
Nice to meet you.
We were just admiring the house. How old is it?
This house is actually from the 1860s, 1862.
Wow, really?
And there's only about a handful of homes this old in the city still standing.
Pre-Confederation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. My family opened this store in this location back in the 1940s. And I'd like you to meet my sister, Heather.
Hi, I'm Sheldon.
Hello, Sheldon. I'm Heather.
Hi, I'm Scott. How are you?
Hello, Scott.
Nice to meet you.
I'm
Nice
Heather.
to meet you.
Oh, I've just made some
Isn't
tea,
this
so I
lovely?
hope you
Tea?
come and join us.
We had tea and biscuits. Now, that's the way you should pick all the time. I think I like picking in Victoria already. So are you two business partners?
Yes, we are.
That's unusual for brothers and sisters.
Do you still like each other?
Yeah.
How many years you been doing it together?
Over 30 years.
This we inherited through our grandmother.
I love a cup of tea and I love a biscuit, but I'm here to pick. He's quite happy with his dainty little cup and his biscuit.
I was content. Lovely Earl Grey tea. My family was doing about the same thing.
Yeah.
We evolved 3 generations in the antiques trade, too.
I'm sitting there, I'm dying. I see lots of stuff I want to look at. I want to check some prices out. So I figure if I take my cup and go, he might get the message.
Would you like some more tea?
Love some.
I'd like to get picking. I was getting a little impatient there. We've only got so much time. I want to see as many rooms as I can. I just can't help looking around. That's the problem. I can't get
Well,
comfortable.
you're totally welcome to.
Can I?
Definitely. Start walking.
Keep drinking.
Well, I don't want to be rude, but as usual, Scott's got the jump on me. So I'm going to drink up and...
Okay. Start looking.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
great.
Oh, wow.
This is an unusual day for us. This is not where we normally are, and it's not the things we normally buy. Look at these chairs.
There's beautiful things. This is a classical antique shop, the sort of thing that was very popular in the 60s and 70s.
It's very elegant, very high-styled antiques. It's not what the market's looking for these days. So we're gonna have a little bit of trouble finding a lot of stuff to buy here, particularly if the prices are high. $4,500. Look at the price on that set of horns there.
Yay.
$995.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to try and figure out what the sort of the ground rules are here, right? Because the prices on most of this stuff are so far out of the range where we
Yeah.
could sell them. There's lots of stuff I like. Like I love this. This is
Yeah.
one of those ceremonial cups, right?
Loving cup.
Yeah. There are a few pieces I can spot that are really high quality, and I think they will always stand the test of time.
Now we've just got to figure out, how do we buy them? Oh, Forrest.
Yeah.
Well, I think Scott and I have had a pretty good look around.
I hope you're having fun.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
Got some questions?
We're going to have one big question is how motivated you are.
There's always room on things, and then, you know, some things I can do better than others.
Sure, of course.
This is my favorite thing on this table.
If you're going to have just one drink before dinner,
Yes.
it might as well be a good drink.
I love that. Lovely piece. You don't see them very often. 30 plus years, I think that's the first oak barrel loving cup I've seen. How much would you sell that to a couple pickers from Alberta for? Now, I'm not letting you look at the price.
Well, that's not fair.
How much would you like
I
for
can't
that?
remember everything.
I tried to hide the price tag from him and make him give us a price without looking at it, because I knew if he needed the price tag, we were in trouble.
I have to look.
Well, give us a price first, then I'll let you look.
I can't.
Pretend you know.
I can't remember everything.
Unfortunately, that was an indication he was concerned about what he had paid for a piece, how much profit he was going to make, not what's a fair price today.
I'd like to get 200 for it.
Yeah, see, I think that's where we'd be at.
Retail.
It's retailing.
Just too much money for us to make a profit on it. We're gonna leave that and maybe package it with something else later. I'd like to buy your cabinet.
Those cabinets aren't that easy to find.
And what would something like that sell for?
Probably about $600.
And if we were gonna buy it, how much would it be?
Probably about $600.
You're a hard man, Forrest. You're a hard man. He loves the stuff. He's loath to give anything up. So it's gonna be a little hard dealing with him, I think.
Well, can I ask you about the Tantalus?
Of course. There's another good quality.
That's a
really
particularly
good quality.
nice one. The Tantalus is normally a 3-bottle liquor decanter with a little locking mechanism.
But you're right. So that falls, and then that's just enough room.
That's to keep the little hands away from the liquor.
Yeah.
And these are particularly nice deep cut bottles. It's so unusual to find them all there and in such nice condition. The Tantalus is marked 700, totally out of the question, way beyond what we would ever sell it for. I'd be interested at $250, maybe $3. What's your best price on that?
I'd like to get about $450 for that.
I'm afraid the best shot that I think Scott and I would take at this would be $300.
You know what, if we packaged the loving cup, we might do $450 on the pair.
I'd want to see about $550 for the 2, I think.
Well, I'm concerned. I'm hoping that Scott and I are not wasting our entire day. We need to buy some things here.
I had my eye on this and I had to ask you.
Oh, yeah.
I spotted a picture frame, and I love old picture frames. I love old, finely crafted things. It's beautiful. I mean, it caught my eye immediately.
Oh, of course it would.
It is a fabulous little piece. It's turn of the century, maybe 1890s is my guess on it.
It's actually French piece, cast bronze and then gilded lightly or bronzed finished.
I just love that.
You're thinking of putting your picture in there, aren't you, Scott?
No, not my picture. I get excited whenever I see something good like that. It sort of makes you just take an extra breath and you stop and you say, wow, that's a cool thing. I'd like to get that, 1600. So what would you need out of that?
I'd want to get at least 700. That would really be absolutely the bottom.
If this was downtown Paris or Bond Street in London, the price is not astronomical at all. This happens to be Canada. Way too much money is the asking price.
The only thing I'd like better than what I see here is if it had a foundry mark on it or a signature on it, but it doesn't, that I can see anyway.
What do you think about a little package?
What are we looking at?
Well, I'm thinking about this frame, the loving cup, the Tantalus you were looking at.
Those 3 pieces?
Yeah.
We'd be up to 1,200.
I know what he's thinking. He's thinking 1,000.
No.
No, but I was thinking 1,000. How about if we did 1,100 on all 3?
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Forrest.
That's a fabulous picture frame.
All 3 good pieces.
Excellent pieces.
I'm happy. I never have buyer's remorse when I'm buying really good things.
That's right.
That's one of the best things I've seen in a long time.
Hey, that's great. What about a spot of tea?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this time I can take my time.
Yeah, well, you know, this time you're paying for the tea.
I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about my scotch not getting into your little hands. I'm keeping the key.
Well, you keep the scotch one and I'll keep the beer one. I love this little picture frame though. Man, it even looks better in the light. Well, I know what it's gonna be.
Two-handed drinking vessel tonight in the bar.
And then if I get really drunk, you can help me with the other one.
Here, yeah.
It was a nice diversion from what we normally do. We saw some really good things. We bought some really good things, and our clients will be happy. Hey, thank you very
so
much.
It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thanks, Forrest. The
Thanks.
pleasure
Have
was
a
ours.
safe trip. Happy trails.
All right.
See you later.
Thanks, Forrest.
Say bye to Heather for us.
I will.
I'm gonna love that loving cup tonight because I want to have 1 beer per night. Now I can have a good-sized beer.
We're midway up Vancouver Island, in Nanaimo. 1853 is when the Hudson's Bay Fort first established here. Hey, Scott, I got a little surprise for you. I picked up some Nanaimo
I
bars.
love Nanaimo bars. Breakfast of champions.
That's really good.
Get them away from me, though, because I'll eat them all. After we were talking yesterday, Sheldon, I made a couple calls, and I think we got a line on a warehouse in Calgary.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Big old barn-style place.
Oh, I like big.
Yeah, high ceilings, 2 levels.
Well, let's check it out when we get back to Calgary.
I'm really excited about it, actually.
Going to see Rod and his son, Sean.
That's interesting. You don't see too many kids getting into the game.
That's really unusual. Rod was working construction and lost a leg. So,
Seriously?
Yeah. So I think that's changed his life. He used to have an antique store, but he closed her down a long time ago.
It'll be interesting to see whether he left at the height of the market with height of the market prices, or whether he got out when it started to turn, in which case he may understand that the market's changed.
Yeah. But we're gonna find out soon because we're getting close.
This is a weird area. I expected to be in a farm or something.
No, he's got the stuff stored in his home. Bet you that's the place.
Oh, okay. Oh, it says Rod's right on the side of the van.
Hey.
Hey, you must be Rod. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm Scott. How are you?
I'm Sheldon. Nice to meet you. So we heard you got a lot of stuff.
I do. So what's the story? Why do you have so much, and why is it here?
I collected stuff, and then I opened an antique store because I had so much, and then I couldn't do it with my leg problem, so I brought it all home.
And why are you thinking about selling?
It's time to move on.
Hey, lead the way.
All right. Here's my son, Sean.
Like the look.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sean is a throwback to the 60s. He's got the long hair, he's got the bandana, he's sort of my kind of guy.
The long, old, grizzled hair, white hair look is definitely pretty sweet. Far too few guys these days have long hair. It's a pity, too, because they can't do this, which is always fun.
So what do you like?
I'm a fan of swords and knives and whatnot. Just this, that, and the other thing, whatever's interesting.
Cool. Well, let's start looking.
There's a lot downstairs.
Got a car in there?
Car for garage? No. Garages are for cars.
You sound like my dad.
I have no idea what we're gonna see. The door goes up.
Oh, Rod. Holy smokes, that's insanity.
We're gonna need 2 weeks.
Everything's just sort of hodgepodge on top of each other.
Whoa.
There's nothing stable to stand on. There's ladders and there's shelves.
I have no doubt there's some real treasures buried at the bottom of that pile.
How you guys doing in there?
Oh, we're finding stuff.
There's a bunch of knives here. Are they yours?
Yep.
Interesting little bone one.
I hope they like them. Maybe I'll be able to sell 1 or 2 of them, make a couple bucks.
Well, are there any of these you're prepared to sell, Sean?
Well, a couple of those are pretty special to me. One of them is the first knife I ever got.
Yeah, that's a nice little skinning knife. And the bayonet looks like it's American Second World War.
Yep.
Yeah. And this one, would you be interested in selling this one?
I think so, maybe, yeah.
He's got a nice little boxed Puma knife. That's the gem of the knives.
Only 1 year for Christmas that knife came out.
It looks like it's one of those ones where you've got like a survival knife almost, right? You got a bunch of different things in it. What would you be looking to get out of it?
They were only made the 1 year, so it'd have to be pretty good. Let's say 500 for it.
Whoa, that's a really nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was thinking a couple $100 would be top nut on that.
That's a little bit too little. How about 350?
250? 250? You gotta be careful when you're dealing with somebody that's not in the biz every day buying and selling. You gotta be more than fair with them.
Meet in the middle at 3?
Rod, shake the man's hand.
Okay. All right, Sean.
Made $300 selling a knife, which is good. Always nice.
I think you cut yourself a fine deal there.
I think so too.
He's got his dad's blood in him.
Yeah.
And now he knows you can make money in this business. Can I see your cane?
That's an oldie. That's from England.
I see that Rod's got a cane in his hand with a skull on the end of it, so I ask him if I can see it. I love canes and I love skulls, so that's just a winner for me. That's fun.
I've had about 6, 7 years.
Somebody did a pretty good job on that, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it really does look like a creepy skull. Skulls have been a fascination for mankind for thousands of years. They're easy to sell. There's a ton of people out there, both young and old, that want something with a skull on it. I love that cane. I want that cane. If I saw it in a shop at 100, I'd snap it. If I saw it at 200, I'd be tempted.
What are you thinking, Rod?
Well, we're getting close on, being friends here. So yeah, 200. I'll give it to you.
I said tempted at 200. I didn't say I'd pull the trigger at 200.
Yeah. And you said we're friends, so he'd be a happy friend at 150.
I didn't go to 4.
Yeah.
But the right number for me is 150.
Well, I was thinking that giving you a deal at 2, so.
Seriously?
Okay. Yeah, I would take it for 2.
I'm a picker. I got a bargain.
I know you do.
I wanted the cane, and Rod wanted me to have the cane, but he was holding firm at $200. We thought about any throw-in stuff?
I don't know. I'm noticing some nice canoe paddles there. We got a buddy looking for a paddle.
I'll tell you what. We'll
easy.
go 2 if we get to pick 1 paddle out of there.
1 paddle? Okay, you got a deal.
Done.
Good. All right.
Go pick a paddle.
Pick a paddle. Any paddle.
That's easy.
Pick the one on the left. There we are.
That's an easy paddle right there.
At $200, I'm happy with that price, and we've got a buyer that wants 1 canoe. Well, you got so much stuff, but I think I want to get in the house before I spend all our money.
Well, I'm excited to get in and take a look around. Wow, you got no shortage of stuff, Rod. This thing's everywhere. Rod's got a whole cornucopia of things. Quite beautiful, isn't it? West Coast native art, traditional antiques, glasswares.
Oh, this one, to my knowledge, is a 200-year-old Polish cavalry sword.
You name it, Rod's got it. Well, you got some Inuit carvings, some more native things. You got a lot of stuff.
I just like handmade things. I love the stories that go with it. Yeah, the pipe was made in Hope by a shaman lady.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
The feathers up there are from an Indian headdress, and it was a chief that had that. It twirled on top of his headdress. Like
Oh, right. Wow. I'm always delighted when we get into a pick that has good quality things to choose from. Now we got to find out if we can buy them or not. Oh, there's an old Louisville slugger. George Sisler.
Yeah, this one's back from the 20s. Babe Ruth and this guy scored pretty high with their batting and their pitching abilities.
So what would you want for that bat?
Yeah, 150.
Oh. Whoa!
Wow, you have a big price on the walrus, 1,100.
We're sort of seeing the same picture again and again and again. What would you want for a couple of hardy fiberglass rods?
Probably $250 a piece.
Yeah, that's just a bit too steep for us. He wants too much money for his stuff. We can't buy at those prices. But I did see something I really like. Sheldon and I are a bit crows ourselves. We like little things and shiny things.
It's a seal,
little piece
argillite.
Of argillite. And the smaller and the better the quality and the more interesting they are, the more we both have to have them.
Argillite's one of those things that the slightest nick dramatically changes the value. This is a lovely little seal, beautiful to look at, and I want it if we can get it for the right price. So what would you want for a little baby like that?
Well, it had $225 on there, so what are you offering?
Well, Rod's referring to price tags from things from his store. Well, these are things that did not sell in the store. The price tags are from many years ago. They have absolutely no relevance here other than they're messing up our transactions.
I'd be happy to have that for 100, for sure.
Well, for 100, I think I'll keep it. Or, 150 is what I paid,
Rod stalls at $150, and I think, you know what, if I have to pay that, I will, but I'm gonna see if I can group it with something else to get it for a little bit better price.
Sometimes it's not so easy to sell.
It's hard.
You get a couple of willing buyers with a few bucks in their jeans. I'd take advantage. Rod's got a little bit of everything. He's got a lot of West Coast native art.
There's a cute little guy. A nice little soapstone beluga whale. Very small, but very nicely carved. It's a lovely little tactile thing you can put in your hand and hold, and I love those things. So what would you want for a little guy like that?
Okay, make me an offer I can't refuse.
$200 for the pair.
Done.
Excellent. Rod's one of those guys that hates to sell. But once he started selling a few items, he got going and he was moving. The Rolling Stone gathers no moss.
Wow, somebody had some fun with a knife and did a little bit of whittling.
This is a pretty cool piece.
Yeah, that is. I spotted a cane. It was magnificent.
There's a lot of effort into it, and there's a lot of detail in every figure. And each character is a famous French-Canadian.
Yeah.
And I think there's 14 characters.
What are you charging us per character now? It was so well done that we just had to have it.
We both have a soft spot for Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just so unusual.
Did you see the naughty bit? Your right hand's on it.
Oh, jeez.
There was a little nasty bit on there that was just put in there as a little quirky bit of fun. And frankly, that probably puts $100 on the value of that cane.
That's fun.
It is fun.
Would a couple $100 do it?
Whoa.
Well, I think,
up.
yeah, you are stepping up, and I think because you know what it is, and it's a beautiful piece. So $350 is a good price.
You really stepped up.
Well, you stepped right on top of me.
You really stepped up, Sheldon. I was thinking like $10 a character, and you're already at 15.
It sure is well carved. So your best crack at it?
I'll let it go for $300. So.
I want it, and I'm not giving up. 2 1/4?
$250. Done.
I paid a little more than I normally would, but I'm delighted to have that piece. Can we dig into here?
Certainly.
Feel that. That's a dense piece of bone.
Jawbone? Is that what it is?
Jawbone or whale.
What kind of whale?
Be a beluga whale. There's a beluga whale on one side and a seal on the other, and the
There's your beluga.
Yeah.
There's your seal.
Yeah, and the polar bears.
And the guy really took the time to polish it nicely, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that took a lot of time. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
When you see something that good, it's like a shiver goes up your spine, and it just feels good to hold it in your hands and to know that it exists in the world. It's in great polished condition, signed on the bottom. I want that piece.
You got a downtown Vancouver gift shop price on it, though. $1,500.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I don't think you'll find again because they can't harvest the way they used to.
We need to get that sort of the $500 to $700 price range, maybe flip it for $1,000 or $1,200. That's what we're looking to do, and I hope we can get there. I like it a lot, but I guess what I need to know is, what would you sell it for?
Well, it's $750 and you can double your money easily. You know that that's worth that.
I'd be a lot more comfortable at $500 on a piece like this.
I was thinking, okay, maybe it won't sell. You know, and if it doesn't, I'm good with that.
How about 7? We're that close.
Okay, $700.
I'm happy with that. That's a beautiful piece. I am ecstatic with that piece because you almost never see a good piece of Inuit art, let alone be able to buy it at a good price.
You know, we haven't had one like that before. And I dare say we'll never find another one
I don't think you will.
No.
I don't think you will.
So that's great.
I think others can enjoy it now. I've had my time with it, and you know, it's nice to be able to let go.
Okay, I'm gonna put this here for safekeeping. I love canes and I love skulls.
I've seen lots of whalebone, and so has Scott, but this piece is special.
That knife really is nice, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
We've got one guy in mind that will want that knife and will make a little bit of money off it and turn it quick. Well, that was good. Hey. That was
Rob,
great.
Thanks a lot.
That's been awesome.
Thanks,
time.
Sean.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We got some fun things.
Yeah.
And we left you with some great stuff. We'll be back.
I hope.
I'm sure we're going to get another call. We'll see Rod again, Rod and Sean, and I'm just delighted.
See you later.
Yeah, take care.
Till next time.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, that's pretty good, eh?
Huh?
Yeah. Today, for me, was just awesome blessing. Scott and Sheldon, they're great. It's just been a privilege to meet them and, barter with them. It's fun.
Well, that was interesting. I sort of liked Sean's look, didn't you?
Yeah, that's a look I haven't seen for a long time.
Right out of the Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah, and he carried it well, I thought.
Yeah, no, it was great. First time I've ever picked from a guy with hair longer than me. Well, now that we're back in Calgary, we got to get more space. I want to take you to the warehouse. I think it's probably exactly what we're looking for. Hopefully we can rent it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Where is it?
I'm not giving you any hints, but when you see it, you're going to be happy. You're going to be excited. I'm excited.
The old livery stable.
You got it, bud.
I love that old building. She's a little rough and tumble.
This has to be one of the oldest buildings in Calgary.
It's got some character. It's got some great old bones. It's historic.
I've been to an auction sale or two here.
Yeah, I know. The McLeans, right?
Yeah. Doesn't look like it's been touched for decades. I like the pigeons.
You walk under, he looks like he wants to do something. You'd be good. Wow.
Oh, Scott, are you sure this is gonna work?
Oh, you know what, Joe? Once this whole thing is stripped bare, it's gonna be unbelievable. Look at the bleachers.
Oh yeah, I've sat here, I've bid in here. And you register there. There was a little lady behind the window.
She's probably still there.
Yeah. Is this what you'd call shabby chic?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Is this great?
It's rustic.
Wow, I love the roof.
The holes in the ceiling? Is that
the light.
And look, I can drop things down to you, Scott.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to up the insurance policy.
It's a bit tough right now.
Yeah.
But once they're done with it, it's got just the right look for us. It's got the right space, the cost is right, the free parking out front. I think we should make a deal on this before it goes away quick.
I think this is a good fit. Let's do it.
Great.
How many pairs of jeans do you own?
At any given time, I've got probably 3 or 4 on the go, because you never know when you're going to blow the crotch out of one of them. You've got to have another one in line.
If something's going to blow, it's going to be the crotch?
That usually. That's a hard-wearing area. You ever watched an old Robert Plant video?
Button fly.
Always button fly. That way you're never trolling.
I've been known to troll.